Unconventional means not conforming to what is generally done or believed.
Unconventional is us.
We love differently.
We make comics.
We travel.
We go to comic conventions. I'm Gracie.
I'm Jess.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Kevin. And this is our unconventional life. Hey everybody, before we get to the full video, what you're about to see regarding Hurricane Sally, I want to take a minute to tell you that we took this storm seriously. You'll see us trying to have fun at the beginning of it, and it may seem that we weren't taking it lightly, but this whole situation started one way and ended another way. And we had a lot to consider. So there was a lot of damage that came from the storm. A lot of people's lives were badly affected. Well, we're not trying to make that laughable or take it lightly in any way. So let us explain a little bit about that, just give you a little context before we get moving forward.
Yeah, and Kevin and I have lived on the Gulf Coast all of our lives, so we've been through this a lot of times before. We had to take into consideration the fact that Gracie's 6, and we didn't want her to be too scared in all this, so we had to put things in a certain light for the parts of it that were not too scary, but it did amp up.
Definitely did. And you know, I've been here for about 10, 11 years now, and I haven't been anything this strong. But it started out the same way as any other, storm that kind of comes through here. And we believed that it was going to be maybe a category 1, but it was going to Louisiana. And we were just going to get some of those effects, maybe tropical storm effects. And then it very quickly switched its path, and the weather people are wonderful. The meteorology team and everything, I know they work very hard, but they don't have any control over these storms whatsoever, and they have a mind of their own. So when the storm amped up so quickly, so fast, it definitely took us off guard, and I know it took pretty much our whole community off guard. So this video is just going to show you how that process kind of went through.
Right.
So.
Yeah, so we wanted to give you an idea of what it's like to be sheltering during one of these storms. And so our approach started off one way and ended up very different. And you'll see that progression as you watch the vlog and see how we addressed it and how we handled it with our daughter as well as with ourselves over the course of this very, very long day and night involving Hurricane Sally.
And ultimately the cleanup process.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, I am here getting ready to pick up my child at school, and she is doing well, but we have a hurricane warning now, and it looks like it's probably coming in tomorrow, but they're canceling school for tomorrow and Wednesday. So we're just getting prepped, we're getting ready, and we're making sure that we have plenty of water and food and batteries and lots of chargers. So anyways, let's see how this goes. All right, so it is getting really windy, and we're not even seeing the rain bands yet, so that's kind of intense. So I guess we'll find out.
And we are, just seeing and feeling that impact as Sally continues to move towards the shore.
Increase. They'll be crashing upon the pier there in Northwest Florida. We're going to see similar conditions like this in Navarre, Pensacola Beach, all the way over towards Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, and all the way to and back over towards Dolphin Island as well. So areas that typically flood in this kind of scenario with a landfalling system will certainly go underwater. So as Governor Kay Ivey there just mentioned a few minutes ago, you're running out of time for any kind of preparations. If you've been told to get out, you need to go ahead and move and get out before we get to sustained tropical storm force winds.
I don't like this at all.
4:30 p.m. September 15th. Hurricane Sally is in Fairhope. And Jess is going to learn for her first hurricane.
Wait, what?
This is your first hurricane.
I thought I was in another one that one time.
No, only tropical storms.
What am I doing?
Going in the rain.
Just walk out there and tell us what it's like.
It's windy and rainy.
Yep. Lots of pine branches down. All right, we'll do this every hour, the half hour. We're gonna do this every hour at the half hour and document the changes.
I think that's an awful one.
24 hours ahead. So this is a broad view of the radar as now we're seeing the rain pulling west and north of 65. So in those spots, you'll start to see more rain as we move into the next couple of hours.
All right, it's 5:45 p.m. We are looking at 60-mile-per-hour gusts. It's not so bad so far. I don't see any damage to the house. It's just blowing sideways. So far, we're okay.
All right, show us that hurricane comfort food. Yeah. And
Enchiladas homemade, baby.
yeah. Just enough time.
Hey everybody! Oh, it's in my eyes.
Get out there in it.
Oh goodness. It's 6:30. Getting more windy. Oh God.
I don't think people expect that it's cold. You gotta come.
It's pretty cold. That one more lives down. It's not too bad yet, but
There it comes.
This is News 5 this morning. This morning it is raining really bad out here today. We're indoors. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
You ready?
Yeah.
What time is it?
7:30.
7:30 check-in.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Don't look that way. Yeah, it's still really windy. The gusts are really picking up. Rain, so that's kind of nice.
It's sideways.
There is my bed. Yeah, so, yeah.
9:30. Last check-in before bed. Ready?
Yes.
There's no trees down. Blowing sideways when the rain hurts. See some branches. I don't see any damage to the house anywhere. So far, we're okay.
About maybe 7 or 8 hours there, right at the state line.
Brianna Hollis has been giving us glimpses of the storm tonight. She is on the eastern shore, joining us from the Fairhope Point Clear area. How are conditions holding up where you are, Brianna?
Not that much better than when we saw you guys around 10 o'clock. The wind is still really strong. Matt Bowen actually felt such a strong gust that it kind of running back to the car a little bit.
Well, it is about 1:30, almost 2 a.m. and I went to sleep probably around 11:30 and woke up to no power. And seeing a lot of power flashes. And the reason I know they are is because they're green, which is kind of strange. They definitely differ between lightning and transformer blows. And there it goes. Well, matter of time. News-wise, looks like it has strengthened up to a Category 2. It went from being Category 1 to possibly getting lower to a tropical storm, and now it is a Cat 2. And it's getting a lot out there. I do believe it has shifted east. I might be looking more towards the Orange Beach area or possibly Pensacola. Still not very far away, and definitely feeling the effects. So stay with us.
If you're on Eglin Air Force Base, you'll also be able to get information there as well from the meteorologist team down there.
Got some dripping. It's just coming in now. So we are about 4:30 now. The storm is pretty rough. It's coming in pretty hard, and we've been getting probably around 90-mile-per-hour winds, obviously, maybe some over 100 gusts. And the eye wall is now over Gulf Shores. We are north of that, so we will see if we get into that. But at this point, it's been intense. You know, it's just a constant kind of howling. The garage doors were going a little crazy. We hear things hitting the roof, so who knows? We'll see. But stay with me.
Around 6:30 a.m. Day 2 of Hurricane Sally. See branches down everywhere. Tree down on the neighbor's car. This thing is still going strong.
That missed me.
They lost all that.
They lost everybody there too.
Yeah. different just this next block over from our house. Because more of the roofs are torn up. They lost all their trees. And this was some kind of microburst right here. Because all of this happened.
Look at that. Jesus Christ. That's on their house.
Looks like it may be okay though, yeah. They're lucky these went this way. Yeah. Wow. Wow, dominoes. Yeah, it's here and right across. Something came through here.
What's on their roof?
Doesn't look like it's too bad though. Doesn't look like it penetrated the roof.
Scratch, Daddy.
Look at the signs, the ordering system. Then we'll take them on and get on.
Yeah, they'll be alright. The cellophane really helped, guys.
It's only like 3, so they can fix it like right away.
Out there. Wow.
It's the Mexican place open.
I was just commenting on all the Winn-Dixie shopping carts.
Well, Cajun Navy's here.
Wow.
Rita survived. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah. So we originally went out of the house and everything because luckily my employer was offering us a generator to our family. And so we decided that that was a good idea to go ahead and take that offer. So we had to drive across to Mobile, which, you know, was no easy feat, seeing as that all of 98 was completely out of power. So all the lights were not even flashing. And while some cops were coming over to help with traffic, it was still pretty busy, and because people were still trying to get to work. So we got to Mobile, was able to get to the generator. Very easy process. Thank you, Fresenius. And we also went to go check on Kevin's mother, who lives across the bay. She was doing fine without power, but had good support. And then we also went, get groceries and fuel. So we ended up coming back, but obviously, as you can tell, it was still very, very full of debris.
Look at that.
Wow. Going too fast.
We can't go this way.
Around in the apartments here.
Oh my gosh, look at the siding of the apartments.
Oh God, people's homes.
Man.
Multiple trees down across the road.
Yep.
Yes,
Power line.
All right, this is a use it or lose it type of meal, huh? Man. Oh, we've got some repairs to do back here. But thankfully, it's not as bad as it could have been.
Driving after a hurricane is a challenge to say the least. With the power out, traffic lights aren't working. And the rule of thumb, actually the law, is that you treat intersections where the traffic light is out as a four-way stop. And most people get that, but not everybody. And it can be confusing when you have a 5-lane divided highway running through your town and 4 traffic lights that are out. Sometimes people start and stop when they're not supposed to, and it does admittedly get confusing. So you have to be really careful and considerate of the other people driving and the people trying to get where they're going the same way that you are. The other things you have to worry about, there are trees in the road, there are limbs in the road, there may be debris from fences, from roofs, from awnings in the road. And you just have to be on guard at all times, not only to avoid that, but to be sure there's not somebody else coming in the opposite direction. So we only traveled when we had to, but there were occasions when we had to. And we tried to be very careful. You also have to be wary of downed power lines. They're everywhere in all parts of our town right now. And although most of them are dead thanks to the crews that are working to ensure safety of the citizens in our town, we try to avoid those at all costs. And you actually have to work to avoid the crews. They're everywhere. Getting the lines put back up, getting trees out of the road, getting trees out of houses, restoring the infrastructure that keeps a town like this running. And we appreciate all that, and so we try to stay out of their way while we're driving around. Mostly, we were just trying to be safe, getting done what we had to do, and getting to where we had to go.
You have to go off-roading to do it, but
We're good on that. There you have it. That was our account of how it went, how scary it got from something that should have been a routine tropical storm type of situation. I mean, we get worse storms than that in April sometimes. And then it turned into something completely different very quickly, faster than anybody, including science, really was able to predict. For us, we ended up with some damage to the roof. It seemed like a few shingles off. We had a contractor come look at it. We're gonna have to get our whole roof replaced because of the actual damage. We had a couple of leaks that hopefully didn't cause any permanent damage to the drywall and the ceiling, but we'll just be able to get that painted after we get the roof replaced here in the near future. Gracie, can you talk about Gracie?
Yeah, Gracie was amazing through the whole storm. You know, obviously it was the beginning sense of, oh, I don't have any school, you know, yay, don't have the school for the 2 days. But then it kind of became, okay, watching the storm come through, waking up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m., hearing Dad and Amanda running around trying to save comic books.
It seemed like our garage was going to implode at one point.
You know, the power being out, and And we had power for a while out. I mean, it wasn't just, you know, a day. I mean, we were talking several days. And luckily, my company that I work for, Fresenius, is a wonderful company, and they actually offered employees a generator. So we were able to make the hefty drive over to Mobile to pick that up, and it was an almost day trip. I mean, it was a long trip because the whole route on 98 kept all lights out, trees in the way, things of that nature. So it was not just an easy, let's go to Mobile.
The joy of a box fan.
Yes, yes, but you can see that on her face, and I'm sure you see one of the pictures there that you see the elation of relief.
Well, I'm glad she came through it okay, because being here and getting these storms, it can be really traumatic. I was worried that it would, you know, be something that scared her. And talking with the roofer who has a 7-year-old, it's going to be hard to convince those little kids that between COVID and this storm that it's a normal year. It's not always like this. So I hope it's not always like this.
No, it's not always been like this before. This is actually the most significant storm we've had since 2005, and that was Hurricane Katrina, which I think everybody has a sense of how devastating that storm was. So we just want to give you an idea of what we went through and the consequences for us and for our community. We're very fortunate to have people that love and care about us. Several of our close friends and loved ones reached out and offered us places to stay that were air conditioned with hot showers. Thankfully, we got a quick turnaround on our power restoration and didn't have to take anybody up on that. We've been able to offer your dad, your stepmom, those very same things when they needed it. A hot place well, hot showers, a cool place to stay, and a hot outlet to cook a roast.
Yes, that we smelled the entire day.
So some hot food, and you know, it's been nice to be able to help out and to see how many people care enough to offer to help out. So thanks to everybody that offered. Thanks to all of you for taking a look and having some understanding of what we went through during Hurricane Sally.
And please check out the next video. We are actually going to have a video where Kevin and I are going on a very long run to downtown area, and where you will actually see a lot of these effects. And keep in mind, this is still, the storm actually happened Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and this is Sunday. So Sunday was when we went through, and there's still so much devastation.
My family down the road, they don't have water or power yet today.
And we're pushing a week in just a couple of days. So
been making deliveries.
yeah, so you'll be shocked at the amount of carnage that's still out there 5 days later when we prep this next video for you and take a look. So look forward to that in just a few days.
Thanks, y'all.